Welcome back, students. I am your SST teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. So students, nowadays we are studying the chapter 4 for history, that is the Mughal Empire. So in that series today we will see part 2 of that chapter, in which we will see today's topic, that is administration of Mughals, in which we will cover these topics. Topic number 1, that is Mughal tradition of succession. And second, the Mughal relations with other rulers. Third, Mansabdars and Jagirdars. And the fourth topic will be Jabt and Jamidars. So let's start our today's topic, that is administration of Mughals. So students, let's see the first topic, that is Mughal tradition of succession. So the Mughal did not believe in the rule of primogeniture. What is primogeniture? Primogeniture means the system in which only the eldest child, mostly the son, receives all property when their father dies. तो प्राइमोजेनिचर क्या होता है? प्राइमोजेनिचर एक ऐसी आप बोल सकते हो कि रूल या लॉ होता है जिसमें कि क्या होता है, जो आपने देखा होगा पहले के जो राजा होते थे, तो जब वो राजा मर जाता था तो उसका बेटा ही क्या बनता था? राजा बनता था. So the primogeniture is the same manner in which the eldest son, okay, mostly the eldest son, he receives all property when his father dies. So the Mughals, they were not believing on that rule. So what they were doing, instead that they followed the tradition which was set up by the Genghis Khan and the Timur Lenk. Okay, what was that tradition? In that, what they were doing, the brothers, they were fighting to receive their father's property, और फिर जो जीत जाता था वही क्या होता था? राजा होता था. Okay, so they were not following the rule of primogeniture and they followed the setup which was set up by Genghis Khan and the Timur Lenk, and there was a centralized monarchy, okay, in which the ruler had the absolute power. Means जब वो जीत जाते थे तो उनका जो शासन होता था वो सबसे बड़ा होता था, तो उनके पास जो राजा होता था उसके पास पावर होती थी, सेंट्रलाइज्ड मोनार्की. So students, what is the centralized monarchy? Centralized monarch means the system of government which have the power of militarization, means military की power, and the authorities and every kind of power, it is in hand of the ruler. Okay, so there was a centralized monarchy in which the ruler had the absolute power, यानी कि सारी जो होल सोल पावर होती थी वो किसके हाथ में होती थी? रूलर के हाथ में होती थी. So what was the formula of Mughals to succession of power? That was not the primogeniture, that was just fight and grasp the power. Okay, so hope you understood that. So now let's move to our next topic. So student, the next topic is Mughal relations with other rulers, यानी कि मुगलों के अन्य राजाओं के साथ संबंध. Okay, so if we talk about the Mughal relations with other rulers, so earlier the relation between the Mughals and the Indian emperors, it was not so much good. When Mughals started the military campaign, so they accepted the Mughal supremacy and the Mughal campaigns, whatever the Mughal started. Then after that, the rulers, those have accepted the Mughal supremacy, they also fought against the rulers who did not obey the Mughal emperors. So best example for that we can say the Rajputs. Earlier the Sisodia Rajputs, they didn't accepted the supremacy of Mughals, but once they defeated, they accepted the supremacy. So here what we can say, the Rajputs were the good example of the relationship with the Mughals. Even the Rajputs married their daughters to the Mughals. Why? They married their daughters to the Mughals emperors or their relatives, because they married their daughters to their families to get high position in the Mughal empire. Getting what is that meaning? कि जो जब राजपूत शासक या फिर भारत के जो अन्य रूलर्स थे, उन्होंने देखा कि जो मुग़ल हैं वो हमसे अच्छा व्यवहार कर रहे हैं और जो मुग़लों के साथ हैं उनको वो अच्छे अच्छे रैंक्स दे रहे हैं और उनकी जो लैंड है उन्हें वापस दे रहे हैं, बिकॉज इन पास्ट द लैंड वाज द मेन थिंग फॉर द रूलर्स. जो ज़मीन होती थी वो उनके लिए सबसे ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण होती थी. सो व्हाट दे डन, उन्होंने क्या करा कि जो अगर राजा उनको उनकी ज़मीन वापस दे देता उनसे रिश्ते सुधारने पर, सो दे स्टार्टेड टू मैरिड देयर डॉटर्स विद द मुग़ल एम्परर्स और देयर रिलेटिव्स, ताकि अगर उनकी बेटी की शादी मुग़ल राजाओं के परिवार में हो जाएगी तो उसके बदले में जो उनकी सत्ता है या राज्य है वो उन्हें वापस मिल जाएगा. ओके. So students, after expanding their power and their empire, the Mughals started many rules and system. So among them one system is there that is known as Mansabdars and Jagirdars. So what is Mansabdars and Jagirdars? Mansabdar, already I told you in our first video, again I am repeating to you that those who joined Mughal military service were known as the Mansabdar. Actually the Mansabdar or Mansabdari was the rank system through which the army or military persons they got the rank in the Mughal army. जो मनसबदार था वो एक रैंक सिस्टम था जिसके थ्रू जो लोग मुग़ल आर्मी में एडमिट होते थे यानी कि उसमें जाते थे तो मुग़ल आर्मी उनको एक रैंक देती थी एंड दैट रैंक वाज नोन एज द मनसबदार. ओके. The term mansab means position or rank. So what we can say, the term mansab means, mansabdar actually came from mansab and it means is rank. Okay, rank or position. Even those were the mansabdar, they were paid high salaries, often in cash. I told you now that Mughals started a currency that was known as rupees, which we are using currently. So the Mansabdars, they were getting salary also as well, and that was in cash. So this system was नॉट हेरिडिटरी, मीन्स भले ही कोई मुग़ल आर्मी में एडमिट हो जाता था तो वो हमेशा के लिए या फिर उसके बच्चे या फिर उसके फैमिली के जो लोग थे वो फिर से उसमें नहीं जाते थे, यानी कि हेरिडिटरी नहीं होता था, वंशानुगत नहीं होता था. ओके. दे वर प्रमोटेड, डिमोटेड और ट्रांसफर्ड अकॉर्डिंग टू द विशेस ऑफ द एम्परर, यानी कि अगर उनका काम अच्छा होता था तो वो प्रमोट किए जाते थे, काम गंदा होता था तो उनको डिमोट कर दिया जाता था. एंड इवन अगर एम्परर को लगता था कि कोई अच्छा मिलिट्री पर्सन है और उसकी ज़रूरत किसी दूसरी जगह पर है, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज विश दैट पर्सन गॉट द ट्रांसफ़र. ओके. गेटिंग. What we can say here, the term Mansabdar is having 3 points. That first is rank, second they were getting the salary, and the third is they were getting the military responsibilities. Okay, so that is clear. Now let's see what was meaning of Jagirdar. So students, if you have studied history earlier, there was a term Ikta. Ikta is a term which was started by the earlier Delhi Sultans. What they were doing in that, they were giving to their military persons or samant some land they were giving to them to collect the revenue. And the Jagirdari system is same as known the Ikta. So what is that? The Mansabdars, they received their salaries as revenue assignments. यानी कि जो मनसबदार थे उनको जो सैलरी मिलती थी वो जो रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करते थे अपनी ज़मीनों से करवाते थे किसानों से, सो उसके एक असाइनमेंट के तौर पे उनको मिलती थी. एंड दैट was known as Jagirs. What is Jagir? Okay, Jagir is same as like property, or it is property only. Okay, so through that is not their own property, that is not property of mansabdars. It was the property of king, but they were giving to the mansabdar to collect the revenue. Okay, so what is that? The Jagirdari system was a system that allotted Jagirs to landlords in return for the service rendered by them to the Mughal Empire. ओके, सो व्हाट इज़ दैट? जो जागीरदारी थी वो एक सिस्टम होता था जो कि जो मुग़ल एम्परर थे वो अपने मनसबदार को देते थे, जिसमें कि जो मनसबदार थे वो क्या करते थे, जो अपनी वो सर्विस मुगल्स को प्रोवाइड करते थे उस सर्विस के अगेंस्ट उनको कुछ पैसा या फिर कुछ जो सैलरी मिलती थी मुग़ल से, वही क्या कहलाती थी? जागीरदारी कहलाती थी. ओके, सो व्हाट इज़ दैट? लेट्स सी. ड्यूरिंग द लेटर पीरियड ऑफ औरंगजेब्स, पहले तो जो जागीरदारी सिस्टम था वो बहुत अच्छे से चल रहा था, बट व्हाट हैड हैपन इन द फ्यूचर? व्हाट हैड ड्यूरिंग द लेटर पीरियड ऑफ औरंगजेब्स रीजन, देयर अरोज अ क्राइसिस इन द जागीरदारी सिस्टम. हाउ? एक्चुअली दोज वर द जागीरदार्स अर्लियर, what they were doing, they were collecting the tax and the revenues honestly, but in the period of Aurangzeb they were collecting the revenue forcefully, even if the peasants are not having the amount for paying tax. Then after that also the jagirdars were collecting the tax from द पीजेंट्स. यानी कि जब औरंगजेब का टाइम आया तो उस टाइम तक जो आपके मनसबदार और जागीरदार थे वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा हो चुके थे और उनको जो टैक्स था वो काफ़ी सारा चाहिए होता था आर्मी के लिए. सो अब वो क्या करने लगे? वो ये करने लगे कि जो भी टैक्स उनको मिलता था वो एक्चुअल टैक्स राजा को नहीं देते थे, और राजा को जब टैक्स नहीं मिलता था तो वो और लोगों को भेजता था, और उससे क्या होता था, बेचारे जो किसान पीजेंट्स जो थे वो टैक्स पहले ही दे चुके होते थे और उनको फिर बार बार से वो टैक्स देना पड़ता था, क्योंकि जब वो टैक्स पे नहीं करते थे तो जो ब्रूटलिटी थी राजा की वो उनके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती थी. ओके, सो यू आर गेटिंग व्हाट इज़ द मनसबदार एंड जागीरदार. लेट्स सी अगेन. मनसबदार इज़ अ term which means position and rank in the Mughal army. Okay, and what is the Jagirdars? Jagirdar is a system through which the Mughal emperor was giving the salary and the land to the landlords or the mansabdars to collect the revenue. So let's see our today's next topic, that is Jabt and Jamindar. So at the name is showing जमींदार, यानी कि जिनके पास ज़मीन होती है. So what was the meaning of जब्त? What was the meaning of जब्त? जब्त was the main source of income, which was a kind of land revenue. यानी कि जो जब्त था वो एक तरीके का इनकम का सोर्स था. So from where they were getting that income, that is from the land revenue. It is from the revenue. So what we can say, Jabt was the main source of income and which was a kind of land revenue system that was framed during the Mughal period. यानी कि जो जब्त था वो एक तरीके का मेन सोर्स था किसका? इनकम का, जो कि कब फ्रेम किया गया था? मुगल्स के पीरियड में किया गया था. एंड दैट वाज इम्पोज टू द पीजेंट्स, यानी कि ये किसके थ्रू कलेक्ट किया जाता था? पीजेंट्स, यानी कि किसानों के थ्रू कलेक्ट किया जाता था. And so Jabt was known as the revenue, and those were collecting that revenue, they were known as the jamindars. Okay, those were the collector of revenue, they were known as the jamindar in Mughal administration. यानी कि जो इस revenue को collect करते थे उन लोगों को क्या कहा जाता था? जमींदार. That means the person who was collecting the Jabt, he was known as the jamindar. Okay, so they were collecting revenue and taxes from the peasants. From there, where they were collecting? from the peasants. Okay, and it was the main source of Mughal administration. The revenue or tax which was collected by the peasants, it was the main source of the income in the Mughal administration. Okay, but later when the peasants started being exploited, यानी कि जब बाद में, एज आई टोल्ड यू इन जमींदारी सिस्टम, दिस जागीरदारी सिस्टम, आई टोल्ड यू दैट in the period of Aurangzeb they were exploited by the means the mansabdars. So same in that zamindari system as well, the peasants started being exploited. Their zamindar also turned against the Mughal Empire. Those were the zamindars. Actually, the zamindars were also from the common peoples. They were the rankers in the Mughal Empire, but they were also belonging to the common people. So when they have seen that their peasants or their relatives, actually few were belonging from the same community, the peasant as well as the zamindar, so what they have started, they have started the revolts. Actually those were the zamindar, they turned against the Mughal Empire, and with the peasants they started the revolt in 17th century. यानी कि जो ज़मींदार थे, जब वो देखते थे कि जो पीसेंट्स हैं उनका बिना बात के शोषण किया जा रहा है, तो वो धीरे धीरे करके मुग़ल एम्पायर के अगेंस्ट हो गए और उन्होंने वहाँ क्या स्टार्ट कर दिया, रिवोल्ट्स, और यू कैन से द रिबेल्स दे हैव स्टार्टेड. Okay, so students, here we have studied many things about the Mughal Empire. But among all the Mughal emperor, one king was there named Akbar. We say Akbar the Great. He was the best ruler among all Mughal rulers. So in our next video, we will study about the administration of Akbar which he has started.
So here are few keywords which you have to note down in your history notebook.